Welcome back, everybody. Holiday Doc here with a special guest today. One of the biggest controversies in the competitive scene right now. And just go ahead, introduce yourself, and kind of give us a brief rundown of what happened, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sons of Justice. Thanks for having me, man. I'm just glad that some people in the community want to hear about this story and want to deter this thing from happening again. And pretty much just to sum it up, if you haven't seen the video already, it was just a big controversy on GGL. Some of the top teams not playing fair to get those wins, and ultimately, once GGL Con decided to make a 8 bracket for the finalists, they decided to start boosting, and they wanted me to partake in it and bump out Team Fear, which, as a lot of people know, is a strong force in the competitive gaming scene. So we just decided not to take part in it, and so far, I mean, a lot of people have seen the video, and a lot of people are with us on the fact that, they don't want to see people cheating to get to these finals. So I'm just glad I didn't get too many hate messages about it.
Yeah, definitely. And the video got sent to me by a viewer of mine, and when I heard what had happened, Team Fear is a good friend of mine, or good friends of mine, rather, and I just could not believe that this shit was going down. And hearing your guys' story, you guys are used to winning and dominating in pubs. You guys wanted to make the next level. You wanted to push for something more competitive. And then this happens. Obviously, that's going to turn you off from being a competitor in any sort of competitive event in the future, I would assume. And that kind of ruins the whole point. And it's not an isolated incident whatsoever. Even smaller run tournaments, you're going to run into this sort of thing. And even on game battles, there's been, well-known teams, even teams right now, and I don't even know why they're still on the ladder, that are constantly IP booting, yet we can't do anything about it. So let's get some more specifics going down. And you guys, obviously are older group of guys, always good to hear. Got started, you heard about the tournament, you're going to give it a shot. So, obviously you got started somehow. Did you play any matches?
As a team or on GGL?
On GGL, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was our first time, signing up for GGL, getting registered, and playing as a team together. So the experience itself was great because, we got to know each other a little bit better, which is, a great part of competitive gaming. You get with a group of guys or girls, and you just play together all the time. You conversate, you get to know each other a lot more, and also you get to compete against these other teams. And that's the fun part about it. You get your adrenaline pumping.
Always right here,
But
right in the middle.
the
Right in
downside that we got to see towards the very end of it was some of these teams just weren't playing fair. And one of those teams was Scary Kids Scaring Kids. And what happened was we got into the lobby, we waited for them, we went past the time limit that a team has to get into the lobby before they have to forfeit. And they just kept giving us grief about it. We were just asking, we were being polite, and we're in our mid-20s. We have no need to be childish and,
Yeah.
call this and that person whatever. So we waited another 4 minutes, and we were just like, hey, we're not going to take this slack from you guys. We're just going to leave and report you guys for the forfeit. And we did, and man, they just went straight to Don King. And that really blew my mind. If you see the video, you can hear it in my reaction. I couldn't believe it, because I had tried to contact Don King, and for those of you who don't know, that's the guy that runs the GGL.com website and was the admin for the GameStop tournament. And I could not contact him for almost 2 weeks. I sent him 2 emails, one on the 31st of December and one on the 5th of January, and no response whatsoever. And as soon as these kids, scary kids, contact him, they get a response immediately. And it just blew my mind.
Yeah, so another thing we'll just briefly explain. This was an ongoing, tournament. There was match after match. So, them putting you behind schedule would have made you forfeit the rest of the night, right?
Exactly. We had 3 matches. They were the first one we had lined up. And the way it is that you pretty much had to set it every hour on the hour, because some of the matches could get really lengthy. So
Exactly, yeah.
we couldn't wait any longer. So we just had to put him down as forfeit.
Jeez. And so, as soon as you forfeited them, you got some messages, and you could totally call bullshit on that, hey?
Yeah, man, you can hear it in his voice, and you can. Oh man, I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah. Frustrating, man. As a new team, you're trying to play fair. You're trying to get involved in the competitive, scene, and your first event is a bunch of little kids trying to cheat their way to victory.
And yeah, and the sad part is despite me posting the video, they really did make their way to victory by cheating. The guys who made it to the finals, who are going to compete in LA for the grand prize of 13,000 for their team, is we got Team Fear, OE Gaming, who is pretty much the competitive teams Optic Gaming and Envy combined, and then we've got Scary Kids and Team Murda, two teams that were in the video explicitly shown trying to cheat. All right, well, I want to say Scary Kids. Team Murda, yes, explicitly shown trying to cheat. So they did cheat their way to the top, and now they're going to face these competitive teams who we all know. They've made a big name for themselves, Team Envy, Optic, and Fear, and they're going to get destroyed in the finals.
Obviously, yeah. They just don't have the local LAN experience, I think, to compete against Envy, Optic, and Fear. Fear's got a lot of LAN experience. Envy and Optic, same amount. Like, I just hope these guys get utterly destroyed, to be honest. And I really want to know why they weren't disqualified. Did you get any message from Don King, with your evidence or anything like that?
Nope, got nothing from Don King. No emails, no instant messaging, nothing. He just won't talk to us.
Wow. That's disgraceful right there. I would honestly would like to contact somebody that's going to be running the live event and get them on here. I sent a message to the people at GGL trying to get them for an interview, but they ignored my message as well. So
not surprised.
I'm thinking they don't want to shed any more light on this subject as is. I will be doing a dual comm with Mr. Team Fear Moho about the same subject. Hopefully he'll have some more insight as to what's going to happen at the finals. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll magically not be able to show up or something like that, but I'm not crossing my fingers because cheaters and shit like that, it seems to get away with a lot more than they should.
They do.
Have you ever competed on game battles yet?
Yeah. My first taste at game battles was actually with Call of Duty 3, COD 3.
Oh, wow.
And it went pretty well. I mean, our team pretty much stayed in public matches with headquarters, and we decided to give it a shot. We heard a lot of the guys playing on it, like L2K and AC. Those are some really older teams from back then. And we did pretty well. I mean, we got our butts kicked, and it was nice, though, because we were so used to the pub matches where we could kick any team's ass, and then here we go to game battles, and we're like, man, this is kind of cool. These guys are pretty good. And we won some, we lost some, but it was a good experience, and there was no $13,000 grand prize, to be won at the end of the season, but
yeah,
it was still a great experience, and we enjoyed it.
Do you think your team will try to get into another tournament or maybe active on game battles after this?
Man, I don't know. That's really still up in the air. I'd hate for these cheaters to, get to us and, stop us from competing some more, but we're still talking about it. We're not sure yet.
Yeah. So as a new team, what was some things that you did to prepare for a tournament? Coming fresh out of the gate, no real competitive experience.
Pretty much what we did was just we would, set up a private match and just play against friends. So other than that, there really wasn't much preparation. So the fact that we did well, it made us feel good because we didn't have much experience and we weren't really practicing as much as we should have. As you can see with some of the top teams, with Fear and Envy, they practice nonstop and they're putting their talents up against, great teams on a daily basis. So that's why they succeed so much. And
Well, when you get to that level, Team Fear, Team Envy, those guys, that's a full-time job. The amount of work they put in on a weekly basis is definitely near that 40-hour mark, and kudos to them for making such a good mark on the competitive scene, but it's definitely a hard thing to get to that level, and the casual competitors are the ones that are competing on game battles and just having fun. But
Absolutely.
we're coming to
That's what we were doing.
yeah, we're coming to the end of this video, and I just wanted to thank you for coming on and shedding some light on this. Hopefully, we can get it resolved before that event happens. Maybe some surprises. Who knows? But yeah, thanks again. You can say your last words here, and I'm Holiday Doc. I'm out.
All right. Thanks for having me again. Sons of Justice out.
I know. Asshole tactics.